I remember one session with Sam Fleming at Oak Ridge where he's pressing us to decide, and I can't remember what it was, whether it was a diffusion coefficient or something, make a rough estimate of what it was. And he very much was intimidating us, and finally he said, we'll bet a beer on this or whatever. And we were all sitting there being talked out of the right answer by Sam. But I did finally say, okay, I think this is the answer. And in fact, I was right. And Sam, I think, still owes me a beer for that.
And when we talk about the Socratic Method later on, one of the things I realized the other day was that when I was growing up and I'd ask my father a question, he'd say, well, what do you think about it? Or we'd get into an argument. He'd say, well, take a side, any side. And we would argue about it for 5 minutes. And he'd say, well, let's switch sides. And we argue the other side. And then 5 minutes later, we'd say, what did we hear that we liked? So it was the confrontational way to try to get to some understanding, which I realized is, I guess, what Lewis was doing and Fritz Meissner after him when he put the cat among the pigeons in the class, give an impossible quiz, and everybody studies all weekend trying to figure it out because they know it's going to be show and tell come Monday morning. And he says, Fleming, what do you think? Show us how to do this problem. Let's get on with some other things here. Did you have a good weekend? I hope you didn't spend any time on this quiz. And so he gets somebody, well, Fleming, I don't think you've convinced me. As a matter of fact, I don't think you're convinced yourself. This was the way they bore in. And I'm literally quoting both Lewis and Meissner who succeeded him. And I succeeded Meister in this also.
Where's the beer? No, Sam, that was actually one of the reasons that I ended up getting a doctorate at MIT. He stuck up for me when I needed somebody to stick up for me. So thanks, Sam.